Alright, I want to review this ice maker, and one of the things that drew me to it was how low the amperage usage is and the wattage. So I've already used this inside on a 110 outlet and it worked great. But what I'm going to be using it for, what I want to use it for, is my off-grid cabin. So I want to see if I can run this off of a 1,000-watt inverter off of a battery system. So that's what I'm going to set up now, and that's what we're going to try. Alright, so I've got it set up. I've got my battery set up. I'll be able to monitor the watts. Plus I have an app that I can watch online. So this is the case that all of the ice is shipped to. Comes out right here and it drops into this little ice bucket. And what you do is you just pour some water into the reservoir, and there is a little place right here that you can pour it, or you can pour it right through the grate on the bottom. I want to see how much ice I can get out of one 16 ounce, it's actually 16.9 ounce water bottle. Make sure that I'm not above the max, and nope, I'm only about halfway. So I'm going to close that, and you push this once and that starts the cycle. So it looks like it's running great, just off of a 1,000-watt inverter, and it is a pure sine wave inverter, and that's what I have at my off-grid cabin as well. So it takes about 5 minutes before the ice starts coming out. So we'll put it on pause. We'll come back once the ice starts flowing. Alright, so if we look at my app, you can see that it's drawing just under 4 amps, and that's about 51.5 watts. Alright, we started at 8:45, so it's been about a minute, and we'll keep track of that, and I'll let you know how long it took before the ice started to flow out. Alright, we're a couple of minutes in, and my current has increased to 9.7 amps and 126 watts. So that's gone up quite a bit, but it's still well within the range of my battery pack. Okay, the water that I pulled out, that bottled water, was here in the garage. It's been really hot. We've been getting triple digits, and in the garage it's probably at least 90. So that was really warm water that I put in here, so keep that in mind. Alright, it's 8:51, so took about 6 minutes and the ice is starting to come out. You can see it starting to fall into the bucket. So I'm going to let that run, and we'll see just how long it takes to finish 16 ounces worth of ice. When all of the water in the reservoir is converted to ice, this will turn red and your add water light will come on. So that's how you know that you've gone through a full cycle. Okay, we're well into the process here, and we've gone up again. We're up to 11 amps and 144 watts. Still low though. Okay, it's been a little over an hour, and most of the water has been converted to ice, but it's still going. There's still a tiny bit of water left in the bottom. It's going to cut off any time now. It has been running for an hour and 7 minutes. So we can say it took an hour and 7 minutes to convert 16 ounces of water to ice, and it consumed 12 amp hours of battery. I went from 97% down to 85%. And since this is a 100 amp hour battery pack, that is easily converted into 12 amp hours. So that's 12% of my battery to convert one 16-ounce bottle of water into ice. So that's pretty significant if you're only using a 100 amp hour battery. My battery pack at my cabin is 280 amp hours. So that would be about a little over 4 amp hours, or a little over 4%. Would be the same amount of amp hours, but a little over 4% of my battery capacity. And if I did that once a day for 5 days, which is the most that I've ever stayed there in one time, that's 20% of my battery. And that's if I don't replenish it during the day with the solar panels, which I do. So that would be fine for me to use at my cabin. It would probably not be fine with only a 100 amp hour battery pack, though. You'd want something at least twice that size. So another thing that I wanted to mention is that the exhaust that comes out the side it's not hot, but it is warm. So if that's going to be an issue, then just one more thing to consider. None of these things bother me as far as whether or not I'm going to use this. I'm going to take this to the cabin and I'm going to use it. I think it's going to be a great addition. And if you're plugging this into a wall outlet, no issues whatsoever. It works fantastic. So it took a little over an hour to get the amount of ice that I want to use in my 40-ounce mug here. And I've already done this, and that ice lasted me all day, and I even had ice left over in my mug the next day. And that was pouring room temperature water over the ice, filling it up. So yeah, I think it did great. I give this a thumbs up, and I'm definitely going to be using it. And so you can see how much ice that produces. Ice takes up a lot more space, so that probably filled up at least 75%, if not 80%, of my my mug.